What is up, MMA fans? This is Tudo Leonte for Sherdog.com, and today I have the pleasure to talk with UFC light heavyweight fighter, Mr. Dustin Jacoby. Hello, Dustin. Welcome back on Sherdog. How are you today?
I'm doing well, man. Thank you for having me on your show, and thanks to Sherdog and yourself. And I'm excited for Fight Week.
And we are exciting to watch you, fight again. Where are you right now, since you are donning some cool eyes, eyeglasses?
Yeah, man. I am. It's Sunday afternoon here in beautiful Denver, Colorado. I live in Littleton, Colorado, a little suburb of Denver. And my wife and I just got back from church, and now we're just going to take it easy for a little bit. And then we're going to have we have a tradition where every fight week we go and have dinner with some friends, and we eat elk and just have a good dinner and share some positive vibes heading into fight week. And here we are, man. I'm excited for Saturday night.
Yeah, that's good to hear. And it sounds like you really enjoyed your lunch so far and your Sunday so far. The last time we spoke, I didn't have the chance to ask you about your nickname, the Hanyak. What does it mean?
Yeah, the Hanyak, it's an aggressive athlete. It's a rebel without a cause. More importantly, my brother and I, we're European Americans amongst other things, and my grandparents are from German and Europe and their families. And it's a saying my grandma always used and called my twin brother and I little Hanyaks anytime we were acting up or being crazy or, being ornery or we needed to calm down. She'd always yell at us and be like, "You guys need to calm down. You're acting like a bunch of Hanyaks, or quit being little Hanyaks." And one night I fought in a Road to Glory tournament for Glory Kickboxing, my first ever kickboxing tournaments with Glory. And they asked me that night, they said, "Do you have a nickname?" And up at that point in my fight career, 2013, up to that point in my career, I never had a nickname, even when I first fought in the UFC back in 2011 and 12. And I said, "No, I don't." And I was getting my hands taped, getting ready to go out and fight. And he walked away. And as he was walking away, I was like, "Oh, hold on, man." I was like, "Wait a sec. Tonight I do. Call me the Hanyak." And I came out to Dustin, the Hanyak Jacoby, and my grandma. I always think of my grandma, one of my best friends. He's like, "Man, I got the perfect nickname for you. I think you should be the Hanyak." And told me before that fight. So I came out to the Hanyak, and I ended up winning the whole tournament. And the Hanyak stuck with me ever since. And it just has a deeper meaning to me, and I love the name, the Hanyak. Man, I actually want to start. I'm gonna create a character, the Hanyak. I'm gonna trademark them, and I'm gonna start a little NFT collection and try to brand the Hanyak, and maybe someday turn into a sweet Marvel. Who knows?
Can you anticipate something about the character that you are creating?
Yeah, I just want him to be, like kind of the Avatar people off of Space Jam. The Goon Squad. I want it to be something of that sort, but a little bit cleaner, but very fierce. Big features, kind of like me. I want it to be a picture of me, big ears, just a big guy, big crazy guy, and then. Yeah, man, we'll go from there. I have all kinds of ideas, but we're just getting started, and hopefully, I can bring it to light.
Yeah, and well, good luck with that. In your latest Octagon appearance, you defeated John Allan via unanimous decision at UFC 268 after replacing Aleksa Camur on short notice. Were you already training when they called you to replace Camur?
Yeah, I was training. Obviously, I wasn't training for anything specific. I wasn't, I always say eyes on the prize. When I'm at training camp, nothing else matters. Whatever it takes to win is what I must do. And in that particular scenario, I wasn't in a training camp, but I was training every day. It's what I do anyway. I train, and I was helping prepare a teammate of mine, Jordan Williams, who was already on the card. And I was actually, kind of emulating Ian Gary for his opponent on that card, and just helping him. And then when I got the call, I was actually elk hunting in the mountains, and ended up leaving my elk hunt early. And And I was like, you know what? It's a great opportunity. It's at Madison Square Garden. It's a pay-per-view card with fans. So I hopped on the opportunity, man, and thankful. I'm very thankful I did. And it was a good night. But even looking back at that fight, I did win. I won unanimously. I thought I won. I thought I controlled the entire fight. But looking back on it, I still had holes in my game, mistakes that I had made and things that I wasn't doing. I wasn't quite dialed in and wasn't to perfection. I guess you could say we're our own biggest critics. So hopefully this camp, but I'm ready to go out there in this fight and prove to right my wrongs. Even though I won the fight, I still saw a lot of things I did wrong. So I want to go out there and do even better this time.
Would you mind to disclose what did you dislike the most about your performance that night?
I just wasn't sitting down on my punches. I was being really tall. If you watch me fight, I was standing tall, which means you're not getting a lot of power on your punches. And instead, I was just being tall and long. I need to sit down a little bit more, and then perhaps the power will come, and I'll be able to knock these guys out. So I thought the movement was okay, and of course the cardio held up. But this fight, I just want to be much sharper, much crisper, and I want to look to finish.
On top of beating your opponent that night, you also made weight the day before. Actually, you even came underweight, if I'm not wrong here. How is your relationship with weight cutting?
Yeah, weight cutting is very easy for me. This camp, I did more to be carrying more weights. I'm close to probably 216 right now. So I have a little bit of a cut, nothing too crazy, but I walk around, 215 pounds generally. So the weight cut's not a big deal for me. And my body just knows, come fight week, I'll probably show up around 214. And with each day, it'll just kind of dwindle down like 211, 209. And on the morning of weigh-ins, I'll wake up and maybe take a hot shower for about 20 minutes and I'll be on weight, man. So it's never a big thing to me. And that's something I changed early in my career. I always fought at middleweight and I had a big weight cut. While it was never stressful or hard, it still it zapped you of your energy and your physical presence. And I think fighting at 205 is just my natural weight. I don't have to focus on the weight cut. It doesn't take any energy from my thought, from my training, from me, just in any way. And I think I compete better, frame wise. I compete well and fit in well at 205. Those guys have a little bit more mass than me that, they're cutting from like 230, 240, some of them, but I think I'm quicker and I'm just as long. So I think 205 fits me well.
Yeah. I mean, one of your past opponents, Ion Cutelaba, he looked like really big and he looked like he was cutting a lot, to make that 205 division.
Yeah, absolutely. And then those guys, you see their cardio kind of fades later in the fight. Whereas with me, I'm pretty close to my weight. I'm not cutting a bunch of weight. So I think my cardio is just better throughout the full 15 minutes.
You are now set to face Michal Oleksiejczuk at UFC 272. How was your camp in preparation for this fight?
Yeah, it's been a great camp. It's been a long camp. We've had a few minor injuries here and there that hindered a little bit of the progress throughout the camp, but nothing major. None of us go in there 100%. But overall, at this point in the camp, the body's feeling good. The body just knows, man. The body knows it's time to go to war, and it's been fun preparing for Michel, and he's a great opponent. I can't wait to go in there and test myself against him and continue this winning streak I have going.
Who will be cornering you for this one?
It'll be Mark Montoya, our head coach, Randy Caruso, another coach, and then Cody Brundage, which is a training partner, a teammate of mine who actually fights the week after me, and I'll be in his corner as well. And we've just got a nice little repertoire we've built and good chemistry between us. And I enjoy having Cody around because he's a very strong, a good wrestler and a good guy to get a lot of good looks from these opponents that I've been fighting.
You are unbeaten across your latest 7 outings. You haven't tasted defeat since January 2015. I don't want to jinx it, okay? So, but I would like to ask you, what's your secret, man?
Yeah, there's no secret. I will say something really cool. I have a 4-year-old dog. His name's Dak, and I have not lost a fight since we've had him. I say he's my little good luck charm, man, and yeah, he just brings a lot of happiness and peace to my wife and I, and kind of gives me a purpose, almost like a kid would to somebody. I could see where somebody has a kid. I don't have any kids, but you almost fight for something bigger than yourself, and yeah, I'd say he's probably my good luck charm. But yeah, man, as this record continues to build, you feel the nerves a little bit more, because obviously there's going to be a day where the Hanyak goes down. You think I don't believe it's going to be Saturday, but I'm wise enough to know you can't win them all, and I've been in this sport long enough to be down at the bottom, to have lost several fights, and it's a good streak right now, man. It builds a little bit of pressure. It adds a little bit more with each win that you go in there, and with each experience. But at the same time, I was just having a talk this morning with a friend of mine, and once I get in there and the fists get to flying and the punches and kicks get to going, I get touched and I touched him, all of the thoughts are going to go out the window, and you're just going to react. I'm just going to trust my preparation and trust my instincts and just react and do my best. And I think my best will be enough to get the victory that night.
Now that you mentioned your combat sport experience, we see more and more kickboxers successfully transitioning from kickboxing to MMA. You, for example, you are the perfect example of that. Why do you think it happens? And, how come kickboxers seems to fit so well in MMA?
Yeah, it's nice to see a lot of the kickboxers getting the love and getting the recognition. Look at Adesanya, he went in there and became champ, and just despite being a kickboxer only. And then you got Alex Pereira, another guy that's going in there chasing Adesanya, two guys that I'm very familiar with, and great kickboxers. I don't know, man. I think kickboxing is just one of the hardest between kickboxing and MMA, man. Kickboxing is way more brutal in my mind. You're going toe to toe, two guys that are just swinging sledgehammers with their hands and legs until somebody goes down. It's brutal, man. I got done with kickboxing fights and I'd be sore for a month. And MMA, you can rest and relax on the cage. You can take them down and relax them while you're still working. It's a whole different beast on the ground. I think kickboxing just prevails, man. Every fight starts on the feet, and if you're good at using your range, keeping your distance, and throwing hard strikes, I think the advantage is always in your favor.
I was actually going to ask you about Alex Pereira, but you already mentioned it. Have you had I know that obviously you two clashed many years ago, but have you had the chance to watch his UFC debut?
Yeah, I did. I actually fought on the same card. We both fought that night. He fought a couple fights after me.
Right.
Yeah, so I was very happy for him. And of course, he's a former opponent of mine and someone that's beat me. And anybody that I fought, whether I beat them or whether they beat me, anytime I watch them fight, I'm always cheering for them. I always want to see them win because, if they beat me, I want them to know that it wasn't just some fluke that, for them to beat me. It took, a pretty superior athlete that night, of course, to beat me. And then obviously I don't want them to lose. I want them to keep winning. Like, even if I beat him, I'm like, yeah, dude, that guy's awesome. Like, it was tough to beat that guy, so I'm always cheering for my past opponents, and yeah, maybe someday we'll run into him again. But of course we're chasing two different divisions. Pereira's at middleweight and I'm at light heavyweight, and Pereira's capable of fighting at both, but for right now, I think we have two different paths, and I'm going for the light heavyweight. He's going for the middleweight. But yeah, man, I'm always rooting for those guys. I'm a big fan of the kickboxers and guys that I fought.
Have you already picked your walkout song for the upcoming fight? For the upcoming event?
Yeah, I have a song, Tom Petty, "Running Down a Dream." It's been a song that I've been using here the past, 6-7 fights, something like that. And it's just, it really fits me, man. I'm at this point in my career. I've been doing it for so long, but, I've just been running down a dream that just would never come to me. And it's really fitting. It gets me fired up. It gets me emotional thinking about it. And it's what I get to do, man. I get to go out there and chase this dream. And a lot of people have dreams, they don't chase them, and they don't have the opportunity for whatever reason. they just go a different way. But I've been chasing mine, man, and good things are starting to come my way, and things are really starting to pay off. So when I tell people I've been through it to get to it, it's not just a catchphrase that I use. I mean, I truly mean that. I've taken the steps. I've climbed the ranks. I've walked the path, and here I am about ready to do it again, man. So it's who I am, and the Hanyak, I say it all the time. He's forged in fire, and Saturday night's another test.
UFC 272 is headlined by the clash between Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal. Let's hear your pick for this fight.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. I am a fan of both guys. I think they're both great for the sport. I think Masvidal, he's an OG. I remember watching a guy way back in the day, a guy that truly loves fighting. And you got Colby, who's a very strong wrestler and a very tough competitor. It's going to be interesting, man. I think Masvidal is going to need to knock him out and catch him and put him away, or Colby's going to grind on him for 5 rounds and come out victorious. So, I'm hoping Masvidal gets it done. I'd like to see him go out there. When you piss a guy like Masvidal off, you better be careful, man. He's going to be he's not coming to fight. He's coming to hurt you. I've known people like Masvidal. He's coming to legitimately hurt you and get you out of there. So I'm gonna have to go with the game bred born fighter, man.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing that with us today. Thank you again for giving us a little bit of your time. Before I let you go, do you have any last message that you would like to share with us?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank my family and friends, my fans, everybody who believes in me and supports me. Of course, my team at Factory X and Landau Performance. I couldn't do anything great inside that octagon without those guys and their guidance. My management, Iridium Sports Agency, the best in the business. A tequila sponsor of mine, El Bandito Yankee Tequila. It's a new tequila company. They're coming to across the United States, and hopefully they'll be in every state here before too long. But Saturday night we'll be breaking out the Bandito and celebrating them and the Hanyak's victory. And yeah, man, just tune in. I think it's going to be a great fight. I have a very worthy opponent in front of me, a guy that's going to get after it and really bring out the best in the Hanyak, and I'm looking forward to it.
Dustin, it's always a great pleasure talking with you. Thank you again. Best of luck with your upcoming fight, and hopefully I'll hear again from you in the future.
My man, hey, let me know. We can talk about the victory as soon as it happens.
Okay, that's good.
Thank you, man.
Have a nice day, and bye-bye.
You too, man.